also mention she's an international multi-platinum selling pop star.
Please welcome the one and only Demi Lovato.
Thank you so much. I'm glad I got the memo of the color.
Amazing. When you walked out, I thought that. I thought, oh, perfect.
Our audience coordinator was inundated with requests to come to the social today because, like, there are so many people who want to see you. They're out here in the audience. Thank you. We're so glad to have you here, and I'm really having some hair envy right now because I've always wanted to do this. Although I'm 40, I'm not young and cute like you.
That's why I did it now, because I'm like, I don't want to have to grow this out when I'm older. And like, I've been like really, really obnoxious with all of my hair colors.
No,
but it's like, I know that if I do it now, I won't look back and be like, oh, I wish I would have done that.
Oh no, I wish we could have done it. It just wasn't, when we were younger, it wasn't the thing, and I'm so jealous. I would love to have blue hair.
Who says it needs to be the thing?
Yeah, well, that's true. That's a very good point. We were talking about that yesterday. How to have confidence with your look, and you're great about that.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
You're great on crime shows.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
So, Demi, your album, Demi, is it's your 4th studio album. It has gone certified gold in Canada. You said that this album was very therapeutic. So, how is the album different from your previous records?
Well, as time goes on, as a person, you grow and you experience new things. And you know, when you write music and you move on to another album, you start to write about the things that you experienced within the amount of time, or even things that you just didn't talk about on the previous album. So there's definitely topics that I haven't spoken about that I've written about on this album, and also just it's just growth as an artist, and just trying to define what my sound is.
And is that how you sort of prepare yourself for the next album? When you're writing the one before, do you say, oh gosh, I wish that I had taken a moment to address this feeling or to talk with my audience about this? Is that what led you to the Neon Lights tour?
Yeah,
really?
Definitely. I think that when I was making my last album, and every album, really, I have things that I wanted to talk about in the past that I never spoke about. And so I always thought, okay, going into my next album, I'm definitely going to put this song on the album. Definitely going to put this. But then when you write and record 20 songs, and then you have to sum it down to 12, it's really, really difficult. So sometimes it doesn't always turn out the way that you expect.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Does it feel cathartic, or are you like, oh gosh?
Well, sometimes, you know, of course, I'm like, darn it, I wish I would have released this song. Because there's a few of those, definitely. But then I'm really, really glad that I got to release the other songs that are on the album. So that's a plus.
You're in town because of your Neon Lights tour.
It's a fun game. It's a fun
game, right? It's like, cue the audience. I have to ask you, what can they expect that they're not going to see at other shows?
I think what you can expect that you won't see in other shows is a connection between me and my audience that is kind of unbeatable. I have a really, really tight bond with my fans, and when I see them at my shows and I meet them backstage and they tell me I've been through some of the same things that you've been through, whether it's mental illness or if it's being bullied or having an eating disorder, any of the things that, you know, I've struggled with in the past, they can relate, and I can give them an example of, okay, this is what I did. I'm in no place to give advice, because I still deal with it. You know, it's not fixed. You don't go into a car shop and you're fixed, but this is how I got through it. And like, my message is to inspire other people, and not only the young people in the audience, but the parents that are there, saying, and I've even said it several times, like, this isn't just for the teenagers. Like, parents, if you're out there, get your kids help.
Yeah. Mom of a little girl, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, wow, you have been through so much in your life and you are still so young and you've handled it so well. It really is inspirational. Good for you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Good for you.
when we think about, you know, pop stars going on tour, there's like a lot of, I think, ideas that we have in our mind about, you know, alcohol and drugs and all these things. And you're obviously on the other, you know, way far away from that idea. So how do you maintain a clean lifestyle in this business, being surrounded by so much of that kind of energy?
Well, I went to rehab, so there's that. You know, I'm not really gonna go down that road again. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Like, it's just, I'm over it.
Do you make sure, though, is that message, or people, do you try to make sure that the people who surround you have a certain kind of lifestyle as well that's in keeping with yours?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because I have nothing in common with people that are doing the opposite of what I stand for. So I often will, even on my tours, I drug test people and make sure that everyone's clean on the tour, just because I just want everyone to be putting on their best performance. But for me, it's something that I'm really fortunate to be able to do, because I am the boss on the tour, and say, you know, I expect everyone on this tour to put on the greatest show possible. That means staying straight. And if you want to have a beer on your day off, whatever, but not day of show, no narcotics, you know, is what it is.
And then speaking of the tour, your ex-boyfriend's brother, Nick Jonas, is the creative director of the tour. So how much input does he have on the show?
Yeah, Nick actually really, really helped this whole tour come together the way that it did. I think 90% of what it was, what the tour is because of him. He has this incredible sense of music and creativity where when you put it all together, you're able to, it's kind of like, I gave him ideas and I told him what I wanted, and he was like, okay, here's my ideas too. And I was like, why don't you just do the tour? And he was like, okay, let's do it. And then we had so much fun. And what you see on stage is a representation of how great of a creative director he can be.
And yet you've known each other through childhood.
Yeah.
Now you're colleagues working together. How has your dynamic changed? Can you still tease each other? Do you still,
for sure. I call him out on stuff all the time, and he'll call me out on stuff. But it's really, I've known the Jonas Brothers since I was 14. So, you know, through the whole Camp Rock stuff, and then after we've all gone our separate routes, you know. We're not the same 14-year-olds that we used to be, and well, I guess 2 of them are older, but no, it's great to see Kevin with a kid and a beautiful, beautiful baby, and Joe with Blonda, and Nick with his new girlfriend. So I'm really happy for all of them.
So it really is your community. These are your childhood friends, and you've just expanded your relationship.
Yeah, but I also made new friends, too, that are out in California that I met through things that, you know, support the environment that I want to live in.
Oh, that's nice.
And I love the fact that, you know, I have a 9-year-old daughter who's a huge fan, and like you said, you also speak to the parents and open up the dialogue. And as a Renaissance woman, you're also a best-selling author, and you published a book, Staying Strong 365 Days a Year. Why was it important for you to release a book like this?
Well, because I think, one, I used to tweet in the middle of the night that were like, my fans would, like, she knows what I'm talking about. I would just, like, I would have these, they called them my Buddha tweets, and it was just like thoughts that came to my mind really late at night. I also knew of a lot of really incredible quotes from people all the way from Lil Wayne and Tupac to Aristotle and Einstein, all these people that, you know, all these quotes that inspired me. And I also was doing meditations out of a daily reflection book, you know, kind of looking forward throughout the day and setting an intention. And so people ask me how I do it, and so I said, you know what, I'm just gonna put out a book, and if it helps people, that's my main goal.
Thank you so much for gracing the social today.
Thank you, Demi.
You can grab her latest album, Demi, in stores now, and you can check out thesocial.ca for all of Demi's tour dates, and of course, we'll be right back after the break.